There are many ways to build up layers with colored pencils, but here are 4 simple ways to build up your layers. The first way is to use lighter color and then build up those colors from light to dark. As you can see here, I am using a lighter color at first. Our first couple layers, they're a blend of different light colors. And what this does is it allows room to build up a variety of different colors so that you could see each layer. You also want to use a blend between cool tones and warm tones to really get that realistic look. You'd be surprised what a little bit of a light blue could do to your portrait. In almost every portrait that I use a little bit of a light ivory color, such as this one here, and a light blue to blend in those first couple of layers. After all those layers, you can start to use darker colors to really start to get that pattern in. I like to use a variety of colors such as dark sepia, natural brown colors to blend in so that you could still see some of the lighter colors underneath, but also bring in some of that texture using the darker colors. Another trick is to use a sharper pencil to create a little bit of that texture that is nice and detailed, such as this example here. You can see that they are very nice and fine little strokes here to create the fur that is short yet a little bit long at the same time. The second way is to use lighter pressure in the beginning and then use heavier pressure afterwards. This example here, I am using a darker color, but as you can see, I already have a couple of layers before that, but I'm still using lighter pressure with this darker pencil. That way I can still see the colors that are underneath, and it is a whole lot easier to blend when you use light pressure to heavy pressure. I am still using darker colors, but I'm still using lighter pressure. That way I can blend all of those other darker colors in, such as this darker sepia color that almost has a beautiful purple tone to it, and then a little bit of some lighter grays. That way by the end you can see that there looks like there's a sense of depth because I used a blend of darker colors, but I didn't use heavy pressure to begin with. And yes, it is a lot of building up of layers, but if you are patient, you will be very much rewarded in the end. And the amount of layers applied really does depend on the type of paper, as well as if you draw a little bit heavier pressure naturally or lighter pressure. I do suggest trying to stick to paper that you can apply a little bit of a lighter pressure while still getting quite a lot of pigmentation down, which I have discussed in other videos. But in this one here, there are some beautiful tips and tricks to getting this many layers down, such as using the light to heavy pressure, as well as light to dark colors. When working with darker fur, there are some tricks that I like to use, such as using light colors or a white pencil to create a little bit of some highlights, such as this example here, where I am bringing in a little bit more of the highlights, emphasizing it with the white color pencil there. The third way is by creating the pattern first and avoiding the highlights until last. So in this example here, you can see that I have created the pattern first, and yes, it's a very rough outline of the pattern, but once you start to build up enough layers, it all starts to combine very well. I really love this simple way because it really does help to understand proportionally where everything is supposed to be located. And then by creating this pattern, I did use a little bit of some lighter and darker colors together to create a better proportionate body here. And then once you think that you are complete and you have enough layers down, keep going with it. Trust the process and trust in methods of using lighter pressure and lighter colors and building up your layers over time while avoiding the highlights until the end. The fourth way is to use all three of those techniques and combine them into one masterpiece. So as you can see here, I am using in the darker dog here, I'm using more of the light to heavy pressure instead of light colors to darker colors. But then in the other dog, I am using light colors to darker colors, and also using a little bit of a lighter pressure to heavy pressure. That way you can blend all of those colors together without ruining the paper and also not being able to see all of those beautiful colors that you've already applied underneath. I really hope that this video was helpful. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn to draw your own pet, click the link down below where it's an 8-week program. Very fully intensive real-time videos to help you learn how to draw your own pet.